to Stitches and Sundries. This is a Flosstube, number 64. My name's Lauren. You can find me on Instagram at LaurenUpStitching. And this is a podcast about cross stitch and stitchy goodness. Not a lot to show this week. I'm kind of disappointed. I was really hoping, I think I literally ended my last video by saying like, I'm really hoping to keep up this great progress. And it just instantly didn't happen. So I only have a few things to show, and I'm going to do a mini unboxing of Black Needle Society's Buzzworthy Stitching Box at the end. I meant to do it separately, but the last 2 weeks have been incredibly chaotic, and I am tired and done with it. I was cat sitting right at the beginning of the last 2 weeks, and I thought that'll be so easy. Cats are so much easier than dogs. It'll be a nice time to just sit with a kitten, he's an old fat ginger cat, and have a nice week. It was so chaotic. It was madness. I couldn't get anything done. I literally did not stitch for 6 days. That's never happened to me before. Like, that never happens. Like, I can't stand to be that long without doing something with my hands. And it was so just off the wall. Not because of the cat necessarily, although he was a bad cat at moments. But not really because of the cat, but because of other things going on around it. And at work, we also are doing a complete changeover of software, like our critical software. And that has been, the lead up to it and the implementation of it has just been so exhausting. So I didn't get a lot done this couple weeks, but I did get some stuff. So I have 1 fully finished object and 4 whips. And then, like I said, I'm going to do a little mini unboxing. It's going to be pretty quick. I meant to do it separately, but it's just getting jammed in here because this is the life I'm living right now. So let's do some cross stitch because that's what we're all here for. And you don't need to hear me yammer about how tiring my week was. So I have 1 fully finished object. So this is Till Death by the Lonely Seaman, and it is completely finished now. You can see my rest of my room in the glass. Every time I frame something, I put glass in it, and it's so hard to show. But it is completely finished. I just had this frame in stash. It was perfectly sized, perfectly fit. Like, I think it complements. It's a little old-fashioned. If she wants to change it, she can. But I thought the silver really looked nice with the black and the green. And I actually kind of like this kind of like older fashioned frame with this very modern print. Like, I think that's really cool. So we are actually we're leaving here in like an hour and a half to go to her bridal shower, and I'll gift this to her. So I hope she really enjoys it. Yeah, so that is completely done for my cousin, and I hope she enjoys it. And I was showing some people at work, a girl at work who always asks me what I'm stitching on. And I was like, oh, I just finished this. Isn't it so cute? And she was like, does it match her decor style? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't do that much research. And then we went on her Facebook page to like snoop and see if it matched her decor style. And it seems like I'm gonna be fine, because if eclectic is the word the nice girl at work used, so I think we'll be great. I think she'll love it. But then I kind of freaked out and like texted her dad and was like, do you think she'll like it? And he's like, what are you talking about? She'll love it. Like, you're fine. Like, why are you freaking out? I was like, I don't know why I'm freaking out, because gift giving is hard. So that made me feel better though. So that is done. Gonna gift that off today. Whips. What do I got? Let's do this one first. So this is somewhere CryptoNaturalist sampler. Sorry, I realized last time how loud this table is. I didn't realize that. I fixed the sound though. I got a new computer. That's what ruined the sound. I got a new computer, installed the editing software, didn't think anything of it, thought I had imported all my settings, and the sound settings were set to only be on the right speaker. That's why some computers, no matter how loud you cranked it, you couldn't hear me, because they were all coming out of the right speaker. So if your computer didn't have two speakers, like a left and a right, or if your system for whatever reason was like only like mono, it would be really, really quiet. That's why, and I fixed it. I couldn't figure out what had happened. But anyway, CryptoNaturalist sampler. And here's where I was. I'll put that in while I was rambling about sound. And here's where I'm at now. Look at that. It's coming along so good. So I scrolled down. So there's where I kind of was to like right there. So I got a little skull and a little star. I think there's one more skull. And then we're pretty much down at the bottom. Like there is the bottom border, like right there. And then I got this little vine, and there's a little skull it's growing out of right here. But I got the vine all done. I had to unpick it twice. So I got, not twice, but I got like really, really far and had to unpick multiple colors. Oh, that was miserable. And then across here, there's going to be a big word. And then, but I think I'm going to try and get across and draw in this border line just so I can see where I'm working. And then down here is a big chunk of a lot of solid black. So that's going to be, I'm about 60% done. Even though like right there is the bottom border, the volume of stitching in that dark black spot is gonna, is why I'm only 60%. So yeah, this is coming along. I've made so much progress on it in the last 2 months, more than I made in like the previous 6 months, I think. So that is really coming along. So that is, but it's about to be backburnered because of this next one. So I was debating on whether to just do a new start and had a couple choices. I'll show you the choice I think I'm going to make. But one of the things I'm waiting on is I think I can get, this is Make Today Magical. There are 4 parts out of a 7-part series. And that 4th part is really small. And previously I had finished up till part 3. So that's there. And here's where I'm at now. And I'll just kind of zoom in on part 4 over here. Got the arrow completely done, and I've got the mountains and stars there done. And I think I have less than 1,800 stitches left to finish part 4. There is the flowers that go around the edge here, and the owl that's kind of in the middle there. And that's kind of it. There's a few little stars, I think a moon, just some little stuff. I think I can get this finished. I think I can get this finished. Today is August 20th. I can easily get it finished before the end of August. And then this is basically off my plate until until the beginning of October, because she gives you 2 months per section. That's a ton of free space on my admittedly pretty small whip rotation right now. I'm really working on getting it whittled down. So then I will start a new start. So I think I'm going to back burner CryptoNaturalist, couldn't remember words. Put this sucker in its place as a focus piece and just bang that out. I think I can get it done in like 2 days. 1,800, maybe 3. I think I can do it. So that's where I'm at. That's the goal. We're going to see if we can manage it. So it's so pretty. Can we just marvel at this? Like, I posted this on my Instagram before I started part 4, and it is so pretty. The colors on this purple, this is 18 count Pansey Aida, I believe by Picture This Plus. I'll list it down in the description. And it complements the blues and the golds, so pretty. This arrow, those colors in the feathers, so pretty. It's just happy colors and a happy, positive stitch. And that makes me happy. Happy. It's a joy to work on too. It's so easy and potato chippy, I call it, but I love it. When I asked, one time I asked in one of my videos, like, what's your potato chip stitch? Like, what's your stitch you can just go on? And people mentioned their full coverage pieces. And I was like, oh, full coverage never feels like that to me. And I think it's because I was so stressed about full coverage. And I'm hoping I have a full coverage piece on my wait list, like ready to go. I'm hoping that makes me feel that way. So we'll see if I can get into it. Next up is Greetings from Beyond by Night Spirit Studios. I'm loving this as a small. I took this to work multiple times this week. And there's where I was. And this is a work stitch. I never get more than like a couple hundred, might get 200 stitches in it in a day. Very rarely do I get more than that. Or actually never do I get more than 200, like 150 seems to be like the average. But I felt like I made good progress. I got another candle completely done and started on the smoke up here, which is very just typewriter-esque. Just fill it in and it feels really good and like you're making progress. So that is coming along. I think I'm about 40% done on this already. This is another small that's just gonna go. I just feel like it goes. And this is again to go with my Halloween Ouija by Tiny Modernist, I believe. I love Tiny Modernist stuff. I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm not even positive that picked up. But I think I matched the fabrics. Look at that. I mean, I feel like that's really good. And I used the same colors, quote unquote, DMC 310, and this is just supposed to be, I think, 3865, and I converted it to Weeks Dye Works whitewash, which is what's in this one. Whitewash is basically white. It's very, the like hand dyedness of the white is debatable. There's a little yellow in it, but I made it so that it'll match. I don't know if anybody will notice that, but I know it matches. And that's the most important thing, is me being happy, right? Wow. This is going to be a short episode. Call it like short and sweet. So my last whip is now the completely released, 100% completely released Greenhouse of Oddities. I am in love with this piece. Love it. And she also, for everybody that was along with this for the stitch along, she released a mini version. I am definitely stitching the mini version for a friend of mine. Like, I think it's so cute. She did like a mini little terrarium version. Yeah, I'll put the picture up. There's what it was. There's what the little mini version looks like. It's so cute. And so here's where I was last time. Here's where I'm at this time. So I have gotten, let me get rid of the, I have done some back stitching. I did all the back stitching in the cactus and on the batwing orchid. He's got his little vines, tentacles. Finished up that tentacle thing at the bottom. Did the back stitching on the toad. He's got toes now. And then finished up the central stone planter there. And the little mouse is so cute. And I'm going to work up into the big corpse flower, the stinker guy up at the top here. There's now a tree that is going up through here. And I'm really going to focus on the central room. There's also a big red. They're all corpse flowers in my brain. The ones that smell like dead bodies and attract insects to eat them, they're all carnivorous flowers. There's a big red one right here that I'll start working on too. This one is it's a different kind of fun to stitch on. It's because you can feel like, oh, I'll focus on this cactus and I'll get this cactus done. I've achieved something. It's so lovely. I'll focus on getting this well done. I've achieved something. And it feels like it goes very quickly. You feel like you're making progress every time. You're like, oh, a flower appeared and it's pink and it's lovely to work on. And then you work on a little bit of dirt, but then immediately you run into, oh, there's a big red flower right here. It doesn't feel like tedious. It feels really good. She really designed this very nicely. So now that the complete pattern is released, I'll know where I actually stand on my percentages, which I like. I like that kind of detail. But yeah, coming along, very fun to work on. Feels like I'm making progress all the time. Not really ever going to be a focus piece, but I feel like it'll get done in a reasonable amount of time. And that's it. That's all I have, which feels really light for me. It's a very reasonable amount of work, but for me, it feels very light. I'm cat sitting again next week, I think, and she's not confirmed that. And I'm going to take my crochet up there. I gotta make some progress on some crochet, so I won't be making, but it's a much shorter stay. That made a lot of noise. All right, so from here on out, it's gonna be a mini unboxing of the Black Needle Society's subscription box. I'm gonna go through it pretty quick, but if you're interested in seeing, like, if you're like, oh, I was thinking about getting there, or I just want to see what a box looks like, see if I'm interested. They do have a kind of long wait list. It's kind of a sucky process. But if you want to see, stick around, see. If you don't, and you just were here for cross stitch and to hear me ramble, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. So let's take a look here. So the theme for, what was this, July, I think, was buzzworthy stitching. They always send these cute the little menu of everything that's in there, but also like a little newsletter. The next one is back to the 80s, and I am, like, I keep saying, I'm going to pause this, and then they come up with a really good theme, like back to the 80s. So, they know how to keep you available, or how to keep you interested. So let me see here. Gonna make a crinkle sound. Let me open the menu so I can tell you who put all these things in here. Oh, super cute woodcut Queen Bee needle minder. I don't think this camera will self-focus, but it does say Queen Bee. Designed by them. So, very, wow. Oh, interesting. It has little bumps on the back so that your thing will kind of snap in on the back, and it'll be really on there. You shouldn't really be moving it around. I move my needle mounters around a lot, so I think I can see the benefit of that being grippy. I don't know how I feel about that. What else we got? Ooh. Who did this? Ooh, they're wooden. I thought they were paper. Hang on. Let me fight this bag. Little burlappy bag is grippy. Wooden cut thread drops with a bee motif in foil. Super cute. I love these. I love a thread drop though. These would totally fit right in. I'm trying to convert all my stuff to a apothecary vintage kind of look. Those would go right in line. I'm going to totally use these. Also designed by the Black Needle Society. These are very nice. A lot of these things will be available in their vault, individually. If you like one of these pieces and you're like, ooh, I want one of those needle minders, they usually have not one or two, but a few things available in their vault. Next up is, ooh, lovely. Da, 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 da. Honey Specialty Floss. These are hand-dyed silks by Bestitch Me. My Bestitch Me a collection of hand-dyed silks is huge. I think I might use these in my upcoming new start. Maybe I'll do that. That might be fun. I have a bunch of hand-dyed silk. I'm just not very good at, one, remembering I have it, and two, thinking I should convert all my DMC colors over. I don't have the like color knowledge to do that, but maybe I need to pick a piece and like really give it a try, and then use some of these beautiful, I just love having them, but I need to use them and like enjoy them. Oh my goodness. Socks with bees by The Woven Pair. And I believe these are, nope, they don't say. I thought they were like, portion of your thing goes to save the bees, but no, they don't. But they do say, be kind on the bottoms of them. That's pretty cute. My sister loves funky socks, so these will probably go to her. Doo, doo, doo. A bee pollen turmeric clay mask. I don't really have any use for things like this. This kind of stuff, I think I've talked about it in my Bestitch Me unboxings. The Bestitch Me boxes are very stitching themed. They're very on point. Like everything in it is for a stitcher. I don't have a use for this. It's something that I feel like I paid for that I'm going to probably throw away. Will people enjoy it? I'm sure they will. I'm sure people will enjoy it. And even if I'm like, I'll try it, it's like a novelty. It's not, which maybe is what you're subscribing to a box for. I don't know. Similarly, tangy honey mustard dip spread. This will sit in my cabinet until I'm like, okay, I'm going to pitch that out. Like, that kind of stuff is like, now also everything in here now smells like honey mustard. Like this is not, it doesn't reek. It smells like honey mustard. But now everything in the bag smells like honey mustard. The socks, the floss, it all smells like honey mustard. Is that really something I'm about? Not really. Oh, this is cute. Little ruler. That I probably wouldn't trust. That is an accurate ruler. But it does have a very cute Winnie the Pooh quote. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. Cute little bookmark. That's adorable. And a very lovely, I don't know if you can see that, tote bag. I love a reusable tote bag and reusable totes. And it says Be Calm and Stitch. And has a bee. Love that. I actually really like that. That is a great, super awesome little bag for going to festivals and stitching. And fabric. Mine is in 28 count. And it's Spiced Honey is the color. And it seems a pretty consistent, like nice color. Like it's not like got a lot of modeling and everything. And this is by Color and Cotton. Super lovely. Also smells like honey mustard. Gonna leave these things air out before putting them all away. That's a very pretty color. I like that. And finally, well, maybe if I can get it out of the box. Hang on. We have to fight the box. Gimme. Tiny Modernist is the theme of the day. A pattern by Tiny Modernist. The We Should Be Friends pattern. That is adorable. A day without a friend is like a pot without a single drop of honey left inside. I believe that is also a Winnie the Pooh quote. That is super cute. I love that. I might have to stitch that for a friend. That is super cute. That's a quality pattern. Not just because it's Tiny Modernist, but it's a very nice pattern. So that was the July box. This box runs with shipping around $75 every other month. So it's not a monthly subscription, it's every other month. And to be honest, the reason I keep thinking I'm going to pause this is it's not consistently feeling like it's worth it. This time, this, the floss, the cards, and the needle minder are like, okay, maybe I say this and the floss, you could probably say $75, like with a couple other extras, that feels like $75. These things aren't adding to it, you know. These things really aren't adding to it. Those are things that I'm like, the extra, the filler, so they can say, well, you're getting $100 worth of stuff for $75, right? Like, that's the filler stuff. And it feels like filler. Whereas some boxes make that filler stuff still feel special. And they're not always hitting that mark. I'm going to do the Back to the 80s box, definitely, because that's such a good theme. See how they... I've also had themes that are not that great. So the Back to the 80s box, and then I think there's a fairy tale box in between that. So there's a fairy tale box and then Back to the 80s, and I think that's the end of the year. I'll give them a try, but I am thinking I might just stick to their holiday boxes or something like that instead of the subscription box. It's kind of a toss-up. You always feel like, did I get what I paid for? I'm not positive. So yeah, there's my review, little mini unboxing. Let me know if I do these boxes all the time. They're like my one present to myself. If you do mystery boxes or subscription boxes, what's one that you really love? The Be Stitch Me boxes are probably my favorite. Starlight Stitchery also does some great boxes if you're looking to try some. They're a little on the higher end, but they're like one-time themed boxes instead of like a subscription. So let me know what your favorite box was. What's your favorite thing you've gotten in a box if you're like, if you get them all the time. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful 2 weeks. I'll be back hopefully with more progress, better progress, less chaos. And we'll have a good time looking at cross stitch. Bye.